So I did it. I blew up my account. So I went all in on Google puts, and Google did pretty good on their earnings. Just kidding. So it looks like Robinhood is having some trouble showing the total. But so the total, I closed that today, is at $195, $145.33. After hours, I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be. We'll wait until this somehow loads up eventually. But we'll move on to the portfolio breakdown, and I actually wanted to go over like my watch list, and I'll just kind of go over like the ones that made the biggest moves. So this is a watch list that I have of a couple stocks that either seem interesting to me, big companies that if they were to hit certain support levels, like on the long term, 52-week lows, or they go through a very big crash and the fundamentals are still sound, then I would be open to buying either long calls, selling some cash secured puts, or even buying some shares of some of these stocks. So I won't go over all 36, but I figured on a day-to-day basis I can just go over like the ones that made the biggest moves. So it looks like the biggest drops today were from SoFi after another good earnings though. After another beat, they went down. They were down 6% today. PayPal, I believe they beat, but the guidance was a little low. So they're down 4%. AMD down almost 4% as well. And then on the upside, we have Google, which did beat earnings. They're up 7% right now. GameStop, that is really there just for fun, really. I'm not even interested in that one. Meta up 4%. ARM up 3.5%. CrowdStrike up 3.5%. So looks like those companies did pretty well today. All right, so let's go over. Looks like it's still now updating. Oh wow. Oh, look at that. I think it just went. Yeah, there it is. All right. So after hours, we're at $195, $195,804.12 after hours. So finally uploaded. Let's see. The traditional IRA, we're down 1.1%, but we're up 2% after hours. Year to date and all time, we're up 89%, going back to April 11th of this year. So in this account, this is the current holdings. So let me shuffle. So now Innovix is in the second spot now. This is the equity, and this is the percent change for today, and today's return, or we'll go to total percent change and total percent change. So TSL lagging behind. Rocket Lab and Innovix, we're up 20% on those. Let's see, on the Roth IRA, we're down almost 3% today, but we're up 1.5% after hours. We're up 81.7% year to date and 81% all time, going back to December 22nd of last year. And in this account, this is the current equity. The percent change for today. Man, look at those SoFi calls. Luckily I didn't put too much money into those SoFi calls. Yeah. Poof. And then we'll go to total percent change. So yeah, SoFi down almost 70% on those. I doubled down on those yesterday. Total, I'm gonna end up losing maybe around $200 on these calls. But we'll see. I think SoFi is gonna bounce back. I mean, this has a couple more weeks. This is where Ivy Crush, I believe it was Doug or someone else had mentioned that to talk about Ivy Crush a little bit. I don't know the exact ins and outs of it, but from my understanding is that because right before earnings, it's a binary event, things could go either really well, either really bad. So the markets start pricing in, okay, SoFi is going to go up and down 5%. Well, any move that is less than that or more than the implied move, you're going to have some type of, and once the event actually happens, it resolves. Well, the volatility is kind of gone as well because now we get a resolution. So with that, any calls or puts that you have, and it still hasn't moved heavily in that direction like these calls, then they're going to get punished severely. And especially because these are expiring, in about, 20 days or so. So it looks like these really did get punished. So, oh well. Let's see. We're still up 70% on those Tesla $330 calls. So doing pretty good there. Okay. In the big account, we're down 0.25% today, and we're up about the same amount after hours. So pretty flat on the big portfolio. We're up 73.7% in the past 3 months, 150% year to date, 212% in the past year, and 94.7% all time, going back to August 2nd of 2021. So here is the equity that we have. Going down, that's the equity on the Palantir $50 call. And here is the percent change. So biggest mover, it looks like it was the Innovix cash geared put. It went up in value, which is not good for me for the short term. And a Google call went up by 19%. And we'll go to total percent change. But the total percent change tells a different story. We're pretty good on every position that we have, except the Palantir covered call is the only one out of all these that is in the red all time, or total percent. And it's not even by that much, it's only 13%. So we're still in the driver's seat. I'm not stressed about these calls. So quick maths, Palantir, what did Palantir close at today? Did they close around 45? Oof, just 5 cents off. But, easy math. So let's just say 45 minus 40, that's $5. Minus 625. You still have $1.25 of extrinsic. So easy peasy, just let the time run out. Okay. I bought these today. So I figured, you know what? I don't really have much exposure to SoFi in the long term. And once again, the company did beat their earnings. They did do really well. And yet the shareholders are getting crushed. I think this is around the time where I'm going to start actually, going long again on this company. And I'm going into it with 10 contracts. So put in around $1,700. And I'm already up almost $200. Up 10% on these contracts. They don't expire till January 2027. So still got a lot of time left on these. So long SoFi again. Let's see. This is the equity here. And today's return. For so much equity that I have on Palantir, 154 grand. Today's return was only $100, negative $100. So, and then total return, up 88 grand on Palantir, 1,600 on Rocket Lab, and about 900 on Innovix. Okay. Let's see. And for the post on Twitter. Oh man. So Freddie Freeman does it again. So he hit another home run the day after this. So the Dodgers beat the Yankees again. They're up on the series 3-0 on the World Series. And I think the Dodgers are going to win it tonight. I think they're going to win it tonight. I hope they do. I don't care if everybody doesn't experience great baseball for a Game 7. I would rather just see the Dodgers take it away now and just win the title. I don't want a 6-7 game nail biter, messing my heart pressure. Here I'm talking about the paid Discord owners. My paid Discord members are eating good tonight. You guys can't see how many contracts and the value of these puts, but we're eating really, really good tonight. Let's see. This is pretty cool. The risk of holding leveraged ETFs through CHOP. So if you bought at the peak in March, you would be breaking even with Bitcoin today. So if you bought the top over here, right at that peak, you'd be breaking even. Or if you bought on January 1st, you're up 61%. If you bought the leveraged ETF, though, year to date, I mean, look at that. Half the returns of Bitcoin year to date. And if you bought at the peak, this peak is the same as that peak right there. And look at the drawdown. Okay, not too bad. Look at the drawdown. Still haven't even recovered. You'd be down 41%. So that's the risk of leveraged ETFs in action. Here we go. So I was curious. I said, okay, as someone who buys, sells puts on TSLL, like what does TSLL look like compared to if I just bought calls on Tesla or leaps on Tesla? So Tesla was 250 at the beginning of the year. So I compared the returns of Tesla shares, calls going out to 2025, 2026, and TSLL shares. And these are the year-to-date returns. Owning Tesla stock, you'd be winning by being up 5% year-to-date. Next up is Tesla $250 calls going out to January 2026. You're only down 6.5%. If you just held TSLL, you're down 9% year-to-date. And if your calls are expiring in a couple months, January 2025, you're down 40%. Even though you're above the strike that you bought those calls at. Just goes to show you, the IV and the theta decay, is like eating at those contracts. So it goes to show too, like time is important. Look at that. Calls are more expensive, but you're not down by as much. You got time on your side. And that's my intention with these calls here, these SoFi calls, is that I'm buying myself a lot of time to be right. And you best believe I'll be getting out of these contracts if SoFi goes through a massive pump, even before these turn 1 year old. Like, I'm not going to sit there and ride the roller coaster up and down if it goes up to, like, if it hits $15 by tomorrow through a massive spike, I might just sell these immediately. Or if it happens over a couple of months, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Of course, I forgot to ask you guys to hit the like button in the beginning. I need to get better at that. Just get used to saying it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good one.